take a ride on the wild side.
Bruv, I look like a race car. A race car. About to do new. So guys, it's lockdown week 10. I can't believe we're in double digits of the lockdown, and I know for a fact that this lockdown is going to go on for more weeks, which is why I've decided to stop at 10 weeks for the lockdown look series, because I feel like it's a nice even number. It's a nice way to round off the video, and I don't know how many lockdown weeks we're going to have. And I want to give you guys some more content. So this look is dedicated and inspired by the amazing people who work for the NHS, the National Health Service. Also to the key workers and the essential workers that are working during this pandemic. But obviously you can see we've got the favour of the doctors, the nurses, the porters, the cleaners, the canteen workers, anyone who works in a hospital, the medical profession, social carers. I don't know what we'd be doing right now. I don't know where we'd be. So this is lockdown look 10, the last lockdown look of the series, dedicated to the NHS and the amazing key workers who are working us through this pandemic right now. Let's go. So let's get my hair out of my face. And let's zoom you in, just so you can get a close up of the eye. It looks futuristic to me, like a futuristic, it just looks sick. It's almost geometric, it's like a cut crease. Let's get into this NHS inspired blue eye, taking on a range of blues from dark to light to teal, with a splash of pigment too. I've already obviously primed my lids with concealer when cutting my brows. We're obviously going into the Mitchell palette, like you should have learned by now, like this is week 10, that I'm gonna use it at some point. A shade we want to dip into is Moody Mitch. Now out of all of the shades from the Mitchell palette, I find that this blue is the most difficult to work with, just because sometimes it comes off as patchy, so you want to get as much pigment as you can off the bat, so roll that brush in it. So what I want to do first is actually stamp this blue into my inner corner. And just push. You can see that it's pigmented, but it just has some gaps in the colour. It's not like a solid colour. So you just want to push onto the inner corner. And I'm going to slightly press up, bring in some of that colour around with any excess product from the brush. I'm next going to take a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna slowly buff some of that pigment out and away across the lid. And can you see how like patchy it's gone over here? That's fine, because we're gonna add a couple more blues, but you can always go over that if you want to have the deepest, darkest blue there. But bringing that pigment up towards the arch of your eyebrow. So we're now gonna go into our next shade of blue, and the shade we wanna take is Mist from the Mitchell palette. A small brush, I'm gonna slowly buff the mist to the outside portion of the Moody Mitch to create some blue blend, and pull that up. And then I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush. This is clean, it's just stained from a previous look, and I'm going to buff the two together and fluff out the inner corner. I'm then going to go back in with the first brush we used on Moody Mitch, and I'm going to stamp the dark blue again. This time keeping it concentrated to the inner corner, and then just blending slightly into the mist. The next thing we want to do is take our micellar water and our cotton bud, and we're going to cut this crease. So what we want to do with the cotton bud is try and cut the crease so that the blue thins out towards the arch and creates this negative space. And I'm going to take little bit by little bit. I'm not going to do one long stroke like I usually do. Curving the crease as I go. Okay, so now that we've cut our crease, you'll notice that I've obviously lost the concealer that I primed my eyelid with. We're now going to cut the crease with a concealer and P. Louise mixture. So unfortunately I don't own any of the P. Louise nude bases. I only have the Rumour Zero and the multicolored different colors and pastels bases. So in order to make a nude base, I'm going to mix my Rumour Zero, white P. Louise and my Born This Way Too Faced concealer.
Bit of a dab on with the crafts, aren't I?
Okay.
So taking 1 part concealer and 1 part P. Louise, I just want to mix up the mixture so that we have a nude cut crease base. Using my favourite Charles Fox brush, I'm going to cut the crease. So slowly placing the mixture on the lid. Bring the formula all the way over to where your concealer would have been on your brow arch. So now that the crease is cut, I just want to take some Laura Mercier translucent powder on a small stippling brush. I'm just going to pop that onto the eye to set the nude base, and it remains a negative space with no shadow. So the next step of this look is to create the winged shadow. So taking Moody Mitch, I'm literally going to pack on in a diagonal line, keeping the most colour central to the lower lash line. So once you've got your first bit of colour for the wing down, I'm going to take a wet wipe and I'm going to wipe away to create this sharp shape. It doesn't have to be perfect right now, but as long as we've got the base for the wing, we'll work on it when we blend. Next colour we want to take is Mist on a smaller brush that we used from before. We're going to slowly pop it on top again and bring it across the wing. So like I said, the pigment on Moody Mitch does diffuse a lot easier than some of the other colours. It's not as pigmented sometimes, so I'm using a different brush. This is a flat brush, and I'm literally going to stamp the dark blue into the wing so that we do have enough payoff from the colour. So now that I have just gone in and tidied up the wing, I've just put some concealer underneath to sharpen it up before I go in with concealer later on. Now, would it be me if I didn't add some pigment to this? Of course it's not. It's the last lockdown look. Of course I'm going to put some pigment on. So I'm going to take the violet glitter from NYX for my inner corner. And for the crease, I'm going to take Turquatic by MAC. So we're going to put the pigment in the crease first. So taking my NYX glitter glue and my Charles Fox cut crease brush. I'm going to take some of the glitter glue onto the brush. And I'm going to slowly place the glitter glue, getting thinner as I get towards the top of my arch. You can do this by going from more of a flat press to a juk. Then taking this really small, I guess this is an eyeliner brush from Morphe, dip it into the Turquatic. Once the crease glitter is on, I'm going to take the stippling brush that we used to set the crease and just brush away any pigment that isn't stuck. And then we're going to go onto the inner corner glitter. So taking my NYX glitter glue on my hand, I'm going to take a cotton bud and I'm going to place it in my inner corner. And then I'm slowly just going to pat around in a circle, taking it onto the dark blue and diffusing the glitter glue and dipping that into violet. I'm going to pop that glitter just on the inner corner and bring it up on the dark blue. Another way I like to just add a little bit of extra glitter so it's not in such a structured shape is take a Fix Plus or a spray of some kind, spritz my eye. Where the eye is wet, it will hopefully pick up some of this pigment as well, so it just looks a bit more diffused. It's not as structured. So obviously with blues and with glitters, you're going to have a lot of fallout and you're going to have a lot of pigment and a lot of mess. So make sure that everything is clean, hands, sides, before you start your face. Now that I've wiped my face, wiped away any blue pigment, any blue glitter, any blue shadow away from the eyes, around the forehead, like I said before, pigments like blues and greens go everywhere. So you want to eliminate them from any other area than your eyes. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go with my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. Just taking a few pumps to the fingertips, popping it in the areas that it needs to go. Hoping with foundation and skin on and everything and lashes that it pulls the look together, because at the moment it looks cool but I'm not filled with confidence right now. So I'm hoping that once you get skin and everything on, like I said before, it elevates it completely. So I'm hoping that's what will happen when I get the base on. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be a bit upset about it. So for foundation, we're going to go with my MAC NC18 Studio Fix, and I'm going to use a different brush. I'm not going to use my Cruella de Vil brush. I'm going to use the small stippling brush that we use for my nude base on my eyes and see how it works. And then I'll go in with a beauty blender just to make sure there's no brush marks, because with stipplings there tends to be. Approaching that blue wing with caution. Now using my beauty blender, my beauty sponge from Morphe, just to balance any excess foundation, get rid of any brush strokes. Okay, it's already starting to get better and that's just foundation, alright. Trust the process, trust the process. Okay, next onto concealer. You already know it's the Born This Way Too Faced concealer in the shade Snow. So we're gonna hit the areas of the face first. So chin, lip, nose, forehead. We'll deal with the eyes later. Blend that in. Okay, so now for eyes, we're gonna snatch underneath the wing and then dot the excess on the eye bagery. And buff out with a beauty blender, touching the eye bags first, making sure they're gone. And get that concealer bang on the concealer that you've already laid down, so it just pull up, eye lift. And then onto powder. Laura Mercier on a powder puff. Eyes first, powder underneath the bags and the look. Pull that wing. Then just push the powder into the rest of the face, particularly the forehead, because it is rather warm today and I don't want to sweat this makeup off. Down the neck too. Don't want any transfer on clothing. Yeah, I'm gonna treat myself today to a baby bake too. Seeing as it's the last lockdown, do you know what I mean? You just gotta treat yourself. So folding my powder puff in half and just placing it on the nose. I want my nose to be skinny! Oh, look at that, I've even triangled it off today. So brush off the excess and leave your little nose to cook on gas mark 7 for about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, you can get started on your bronzer and blusher, which of course at the moment is exactly the same as it has been for the past 10 weeks. Dark Deep Mineralise by MAC. And Warm Soul by MAC. Just to get some all round snatch. And now that you've got your bronzer and your blush on, just going to remove the baby bake. Brush down and away. Moving on to highlight number 1. My highlight base. Soft and gentle. Just onto the cheeks. And on the forehead, nose and lip. Next product, obviously we're going in with my Hangin in Hawaii BH Cosmetics eyeshadows as highlighter. Taking shade Hula, obviously.
Obviously.
I don't even have to say nothing now. You lot should know, this should already be in your baskets at beautybay.com. This is such a good palette. It's versatile, it's neutral, and the fucking eyeshadows make the bombest highlighters. BH Cosmetics. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
No, I don't. I feel faint. I've struck gold, ladies.
What did I tell you? Trust the process. I need to listen to myself, my own advice. Trust the damn process, because look at it now. This looks sick. And now I'm just going to go back over my brows with my Gimme Brow 24-hour brow set and the spoolie from Precisely My Brow, and neaten up any edges to get rid of any powder, highlight or glitter that somehow found itself parked in my eyebrow. So for lashes today, I'm going to go with my TL Mitchell Tatty Lashes collaboration, because it's a big fucking lash for a big fucking look. Every step along the way of this tutorial, I've got more and more obsessed with this look that I have created. The lashes, you already know what I'm gonna say. Now it's time for lips. Oh, actually, like I mentioned before, blue pigment does like to travel, and when we used a lot of the dark blue on the inner corner, a lot of it does travel underneath the lower lash line. So what I've done is clean that up by just using the brush that we used to fluff out the mist and Moody Mitch together, just underneath the lash line, not to take away from the actual look, but to give it some kind of colour, especially with the darker, bigger lash. I'm a genius. Wow. On to lips now. Of course, we're gonna go in with my Ride or Die lip pencil and lipstick, Nude Truffle by NYX and Peach Stock by MAC. Now, I was watching a JB Genevieve tutorial, or it might have been a recent documentary, and she doesn't actually draw the shape of her overline, she just goes over the top of her Cupid's bow. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, so listening to JB Genevieve. Okay. Okay. And then just overline how I would normally overline, I guess. Look at that. That is pitiful. Okay, might have to sharpen up my lip pencil. The thing is, I don't want to sharpen it because look how small it is. Oh my god, my phone. Are you fucking... That's it. Fucking stop right now.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Right now. Sorry, I had to deal with a little bit of a clean-up situation on aisle 6. The line on my bottom lip decided to piss me off. Now I just fill in the top lip with the majority of the colour. We know I like a darker top lip. Now taking Peach Stock by MAC. We're just going to place most of the colour on the bottom lip and let the top lip transfer, and then blend the two together with a blending brush, a little lip brush. Do you know how sick I look? I look wicked. This is such a cool and different concept of makeup. It looks so damn good. I mean, it's not yet every day, granted. Are you seeing me? Are you seeing me? That's it, guys. Lockdown look 10 locked off. The last look of the lockdown look series, and I couldn't be more happy and so blessed to have you guys watching this video, watching the series. Obviously, the lockdown is not ending after 10 weeks. There's still going to be more lockdown. There's still more rules to follow, more guidelines to go about. Please stay inside only. Why am I moving like Boris Johnson? Listen, yeah, just follow the rules, yeah, please, because we don't want a second wave of coronavirus to hit us. If we are not careful, it's going to completely fuck us up economy. It's going to fuck up everything. This lockdown look 10 and the final look of the lockdown series on my YouTube channel is dedicated to the NHS and to the key workers and essential workers that have been working the whole time for this whole pandemic, and I thank you so much for that. So that's why I'm trying to represent your colours today. So I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for sticking with this series. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, comment and like. Share this video, share the series with people who you think would want to see it. Recreate some of the looks, play with makeup. This lockdown has allowed me to play with makeup so much more, where I've not been at university and I've not been at work, and honestly it has been the best creative growth for me possible. And thank you to the NHS and the key workers and the essential workers that are getting us through this tough time. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that I am healthy, my family is healthy, my friends are healthy, and that soon we can come out of this the other side and make our year the best year yet. If not, 2020 is a write-off. 2021 levels elevate. 2021 soon come. That's going to be everyone's year, let me tell you now. Thank you for supporting the lockdown look series, and I'll see you in the next video.